In the meantime, here, the fallout for the president of the United States, not this one, the former one, Donald Trump, of course, he picked and backed aggressively Herschel Walker. You know, a lot of criticism from Republicans that he was an unwinnable candidate. That was then. What happens not so much to Herschel Walker now, but to Donald Trump now and his influence and leadership role in the Republican Party? Let's go to Tom Bevan of RealClearPolitics, the co-founder and president. Lee Carter here as well, Republican pollster. Lee, your thoughts on the impact on all of this for Donald Trump?
Well, I think we talked about this the day before the election. And in many ways, what we're seeing is that Donald Trump is the history of the Republican Party, not the future. I think that has become very clear. Those candidates that he backed in very, very close races ended up not winning. His superpower, his star power, his message wasn't enough to catapult people over the finish line. What we have seen is candidates like DeSantis and Kemp, who are business friendly, who have plans on how to make, they're focused on freedom, they're focused on the economy, they're focused on very forward-looking issues. Those are the candidates that are having a lot more success. And so I think that is what we're going to see going forward into 2024 is those candidates who really have a plan for what they're going to do to make things better, rather than just looking back and saying how bad things are and how we're going to, make it back what it used to be, rather than looking forward and how great things can be in the future.
It wasn't that long ago, Tom, that the president, that is Donald Trump, was telling Republicans who might be considering presidential runs of their own that it would not be the right thing to do or the honorable thing to do, seeing as he was running. And many might have then and still now held off because of that. Less so now?
Oh, I definitely think less so now. I think that this election, had this been a Republican wave, had a lot of these Trump-backed candidates won, I think it'd be a completely different dynamic on the Republican side and on the Democratic side, quite frankly. I think Biden would be getting under a lot of pressure to not run in 2024. But it has definitely opened the door not only for DeSantis, but for other candidates who have been emboldened by this. And look, Herschel Walker was a flawed candidate. I think everybody knew that. I don't think this loss hurts Trump as much as his other self-inflicted wounds from over the last couple of weeks about, his tweet about the Constitution, his meeting with Kanye and Nick Fuentes. I mean, those are the things that really, for people who like Trump's policies but don't like, Trump the persona or all of the baggage that he brings to the table, those are, great excuses, great, data points for them to move away from Trump and look for something new and different.
Guys, I want to thank you. It's still too early to tell one way or the other.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.